Today's Saturday, it's the 4th of November and it's 2023 and it's a very, very windy Palmanova. We've just come out fairly early today, so it's only 10 o'clock in the morning. Places are opening up, but lots of places are also closing down. So let's just have a look, see what's going on. And well, the first thing I noticed is there are no beds left, no parasols left on the beach. It's been extremely windy, so I guess they've taken the opportunity to take them away. There's no lifeguard on duty, well there wouldn't be at this time in the morning. And there's a lot of seaweed on the beach.
Are dogs allowed on the beach?
It's, yeah, I think dogs might be allowed on the beach now. I think the time's changed. In the winter time, dogs are allowed on the beach. But the seaweeds, because we've had some quite stormy weather, Storm Kieran, which has hit the UK and caused a lot of devastation, has also been battering Mallorca. And well, the wind's not in the right direction for strong waves here today, but there must have been in the week to bring all that seaweed up. And it is still very, very breezy. We're still on an orange alert for wind. We had a few spots of rain, nothing too heavy in the last couple of days, but we've got some blue skies, and I haven't got my hat.
Parasol.
Anisha hasn't got a parasol, so we're a little bit exposed to the sun, but I think both the hat and the parasol would have been long gone now in the wind. It really is very, very breezy. The pedalo boats at the far end there are just about ready to be taken away. We have just seen a lady, I think it was a lady, swimming in the sea, so it's still pleasant temperatures today, 4th of November, and the predicted temperatures are 23 degrees for today, which
24 is... the chemist just came past.
Is it 24? Well, there you go. And that was in the shade, so 24 degrees is more or less a real temperature first time in the morning. It doesn't quite feel that because of the wind. It is very, very windy. Well, people still out having a drink at the Camp Blanc. And it just seems a bit shadier, a bit more sheltered there. Lots of places now though closing up. So Portugal across there, we did speak to Max last week and he said he would be closing up this weekend. Next to it, the Petit Restaurant, the Petit Bistro, Rossini's, well, they've still got the tables out. There will be some places that will stay open all through the winter, and hopefully we'll be able to find somewhere for a coffee later on. And we see a lot of the hotels that haven't already closed, so some already closed last weekend. For many that are still open, they will be closing this weekend, today or tomorrow, with just a few remaining open. And only about a dozen staying open through the winter. So across the road there, the hotel has already put the tapes up and blacked out the windows, and they'll be taking a well-earned break for the winter. It's heavier. Someone was asking me what happens to all of these people who now no longer have a job. Well, many of them will have been working long hours and long days, and they will hopefully have saved a lot of money to keep them going through the winter. If they've worked for 6 months legally, that is paying their social security, then they can apply for the paro, which is dole money, and that will keep them going over the winter. If they haven't worked for 6 months, then they've got a problem because they're really entitled to nothing. So what do? Well, many of them take on other jobs, so other things do happen in the winter time. There's a lot of refurbishment going on in the hotels, a lot of building work going on, and some people actually go and leave the island and go to places where hotels are opening. Used to be a lot of people going to places like Andorra, the Sierra Nevada, or any of the other ski resorts, because they will obviously need waiters and waitresses and all the sort of staff that work in hotels. So that's also an option. But some will just put their feet up and have a rest for the winter period. You can see we have got some waves, but nothing like the ones we were seeing in Costa La Calma a couple of weeks ago. I've got to go up some steps now, so switch the camera off and I'll catch you at the top. And there's the beach. And just a few people having an early morning walk. Just to check the time, it's only 10:15 in the morning, so it is quite early for people to be out and about. Very pleasant temperatures today. If it wasn't for the wind, it would be quite warm.
I've got more shorts than still.
Yeah, definitely shorts weather, t-shirt weather. There's Anita all wrapped up with a gilet and jeans. When I was looking on the weather report this morning, which said sun and maybe a little cloud, it said that the wind would be coming from the west-southwest, which I guess is over that way. So these boats here are pretty much in the calmer areas, so not too bad there, more sheltered. Across the bridge. Might be calm down there, but it's a bit breezy up here, and the wind obviously gets funneled and it's blown about. Just coming round now to the middle beach. Which doesn't have any beds or parasols, but the a few nets up for those who want to play on the beach, and lots of people arriving. The odd swimmer in the sea down there. Down the steps we go. Here we are down at the bottom. sort of a tractor or something on the beach. Left its tracks. And the volleyball players are setting up their areas and setting up their nets. Now we're in a sheltered area and it feels really warm. Hey, you're boiling.
I am a bit.
Just a few steps to go up. Just going past McDonald's. Got the lights on in there. I'm sure if they're open yet, they should be opening soon. Hotel Tropico across the road's been closed for well over a week, I think, and that was always going to be the case, and they were scheduled to start their renovation. So I guess the first thing they've got to do is to clear all of the rooms, and I can just see the first floor now where all the curtains have gone, and because they're clearing the rooms as we get a bit closer. Yeah, all the curtains have disappeared, so that's the first job. They've got to clear everything and then they'll start whatever renovations they've got planned. It'll be interesting to see how that progresses through the year, through the winter. The volleyball players come out ready, playing some of them, and some others just still setting up. So it is a Saturday morning, so you'll start to get locals coming out as well today. So all these volleyball players, they'll be locals. Spanish schools don't have a half term as such, so no half term for them. They do have a holiday, which is actually the 1st of November. Which was in the middle of the week, but no week's holiday at this time. And I'm guessing now that the half term in the UK is finished as well, so we'll see less holiday makers in terms of children. There's the Reverence Mar Hotel. When you get strong winds like this, it can be quite destructive as well. So we have to batten down the hatches, as it were, particularly for things like blinds and awnings. Tourist Information Office, which is open and manned. if we travel to the mainland, it's where we get our travel certificate that entitles us to a 75% reduction in our airfare or boat fare. Paradise Beach open for business. One or two people already in there having a morning coffee. We've already got sport on the TV. And it's football, so they're going to be showing Fulham, Manchester United, Manchester City, Bournemouth, and the Newcastle Arsenal game.
Not the Mallorca one.
Not the Majorca one. So Mallorca are playing this afternoon. Who are they playing there?
Betis.
Betis. So this afternoon, it's a funny time, 4:15. They're playing Betis. It's an away match. So we'll be going to a bar with our friends Monroe and Marcia, and have a drink there and probably a bite to eat as well.
And a few goals.
And hopefully celebrate a lot of goals by Mallorca, who managed to score 4 in the Copa del Rey this week, but they were playing a non-league side, some small town up in the north of Spain. But they went out, they scored some goals. It was the first one for Larin, our new Canadian signing, so he's off the mark now, and hopefully we'll have seen lots of goals for him. But what was the icing on the cake was local boy Abdon Prats scored 3 goals, so he'll be really chuffed with that. 2 of them were penalties, yeah, but they were good penalties. They were good, well taken penalties, and to have scored a hat-trick for his team, that's great news. Just coming up to the Zell Hotel, which I thought was going to be open through the winter, but no, it's one that's closing. I can't remember the date, but it's not going to be open all through the winter. So sadly this one will get mothballed till the season starts in 2024. And all that comes on the back of the news that we're going to be having more flights to the island over the winter period. A lot from Germany, but also an increased number from the UK, including what we've been lacking for the last couple of years, flights directly from Scotland. A number of my friends who live in Scotland always have a bit of a struggle to get here in the winter time, and they usually have to get down to an airport somewhere in England. Well, now they've got the option. I think it's Jet2 who are putting on some flights. I mean, not a huge number of flights, but hopefully if they get well received, then in future years they'll consider putting more flights on. Looks like Rogers might have shut up. Although the wind could have just blown all of that in the last 24 hours.
No, I think if they were open, they'd be open.
Yeah, I think probably you're right. So lots of places will be, if they're not already closed, they'll be closing this weekend. The ones that are not going to stay open for the winter. Barbuda's already whitewashed its windows, so they're off on their hulls. All the chairs are stacked up.
Can't really leave those outside, they've done everything.
No. Diana Beach Bar, Diana Beach Club, also taken in their tables and chairs. I know people say it's sad to see it like this, but it's very normal. It's what happens here in the winter. And people who've been working very hard during the summer can then take a little break.
The sea looks lovely now, doesn't it?
Yeah, there's the beach. A few people in the sea over there. And it looks really calm here because we're in this shady area, we're not getting the wind. Getting messages on my phone. I do apologise if I've not replied to anybody in the messages. I've been a little bit busy with other things at the moment. I will get down to it. We had a lovely break on the east coast, and so most of the recent videos have all been about being on the east coast. We were in Sacoma, lovely hotel there, which is the CM Mallorca Palace. Very nice hotel.
Very nice.
We're just going past the Santa Lucia, which is now closed. Santa Lucia is now closed for the winter. We've got a couple of swimmers in there doing the length. Wow, that's serious swimming. This is where Shauna and Claire stayed in September. We've been doing that for the last couple of years. There's a special treat for Shauna for her birthday. So as you can see, all the beds have been taken in, all the tables, bars are closed, and that's another year finished for the Santa Lucia.
The Olive Tree are advertising Menu del Dias, aren't they?
Yeah, right. Oh, well, maybe if they're open in the winter time, we could try that. Well, we've been looking at Christmas menus actually. There's lots of the restaurants that are staying open are putting out their Christmas menus now. Turkey and all the trimmings, those sorts of things. And there are some beds left on this beach. There's a tractor taking them away, but at the far end I can see lots of parasols still there, and some sun lounges in the distance, I think. So is that where they're going to stay? Strange place to put it, because most of the hotels in that area are closed anyway. It's closer to Magaluf, and Magaluf has very few hotels open. I'll look out a list of those that are open, and I'll post that in a separate video so people can actually see what's open. And if you're desperate to find out, Calvia Notice Board is the place to have a look. Calvia Notice Board has a list of all of the hotels that are open through the winter, and the dates at which the others close. Whoa! Get blown off your feet here. The Oroco's advertising a menu as well.
Yeah.
Which looked quite nice.
I've never tried there, have you?
Yeah.
I've never drink there.
And the barbecue. Restaurant's closed. You can see there the beds stacked up. And there's a forklift taking them away, loading them on a truck which will take them all away. So the parasols and then the poles, they all go too. Still some of the souvenir shops open. Coming up to the San Matias Beach Hotel, and very windy. Not sure what this is going to do for the sound, but there's the tractor with his forklift on the front, and he's picking up and taking away the stacked beds so that they can be transported for winter storage. Tables and chairs are still outside the San Matias, but if it's not closed already, it's going to be closing soon. Can't see any lights on inside, which would be the dining room, so I'm guessing they've already... No, they've actually got napkins on the tables inside.
Sand all blown.
Sorry?
All the sand blown.
Yeah. Napkins and cutlery on the table, so maybe they are still open. The colours are over here. Oh, so there are some people working in there, and there are some people sunbathing in there, so the San Matias is still open for the moment. I'm guessing it's going to be closing very, very shortly. So that's where the beach beds are still out. That doesn't mean they're going to be out later on today. So we need to keep coming down and having a look, see what the progress is. CISO's getting ready to open later on. You can see they've got all of these parasols, but they must be really frightened of actually putting them up because there's so much wind that it could easily take one of them flying. And that's why it's an amber warning at the moment, just for flying debris. Things like those parasols can very easily get picked up and dumped down just about anywhere, so can get a little bit dangerous in these high winds. Park.
I think if the Calvia place is open, we'll have a coffee there, shall we? Think?
Yeah, I don't think they'll be open this early. Well, we can have a look. The sun is quite intense, so it's quite nice to be walking here in the shade of the trees. Gardens of the San Matias apartments. We've missed seeing Naz this summer, haven't we? Hope everything's all right with you and your family.
For a few years now.
Are you not warm?
No, sure.
I'm warm and I've only got a shirt sleeves.
Ah, bueno, después yo lo veo. Ya yo voy a salir a juntar cachivaches. Rosa María, ven por acá. Claro, Rosa María, aquí con todo el día contra Morrillo, pero funciona. Ya encontré la vuelta, tenés que ir metiéndote, traer los bancos y avanzar. Retroceder, vamos a traer el banco y avanzar. Y vamos a avanzar.
I think the Tobago is still open actually. But many of the hotels around this area will be closed or closing shortly. The Elba is one that is staying open, I believe, during the winter time. That's on the other side of Terranova, overlooking Magaluf.
That's going to open.
Looks like BMAX is closed, got the fence up. Unless it opens up later on, of course. And this was our new discovery for this season, which was the Calvia Beach House. The restaurant where we had a lovely meal. They're just setting up for later on. But we were very impressed by the food that we had there and the hospitality of the owner.
I suppose we'll have to go back to the Beehive for a coffee.
Yeah. At the Leonardo Royal Hotels, that's been closed now for a week or so, I think. But some beds are still being used here, people sitting out. And there are the parasols. Well, we're going to make our way back, and I'll put the camera back on if I find something interesting. But for the moment, we'll switch the camera off and catch up later. The Tintin perfume shop there's empty, that's closed now for the winter, but Gelacious next to it, they're still open, as are Taylor's Cocktail Bar. But Monroe's, looks like they've called it a night, and that's it. So they'll be open now, I'm sure, in 2024. And Taylor's just getting ready for lunchtime. I'm just at the back of the Zell Hotel. I think they might have another week or so, but they'll be winding down. It is like a different place, like night and day.
vamos a ver si está dentro de la mujer, vamos a ir a...
Sí,
Zal.
Vamos a ir hacia algo. Yo no hablo.
está abierto.
And
Que no es mala, pero es movida.
Tandoori Nights not open yet, but they will be opening later on, I'm pretty sure. You're getting a bit warm, aren't you? She's unzipped her gilet. I'm certainly warm. Our supermarket's open, as is the Bora Bora beach. And you can always have your feet tickled by the fish.
Durante la llamada estuvo súper bien, ¿vale?
See people at the tent, so that's still open, but the Bermuda's gate has already been chained up. Across the road, Castaways, people are already there having the coffees. It's a Saturday, and children playing in the park, which is nice to see. We're going to make our way to the Beehive, so see you when we get there. Well, we managed to make it to the Colmena, and it's coffee to start with. We might have something else in a moment. Cheers, everyone.
The wind's blown.
So we succumbed to temptation, and we're having a brunch, and so we've gone for the full English here at the Beehive, the Colmena, which is an English breakfast. So we've got all the usual things, and I'm sure I'm going to enjoy that. So there's the bill for our brunch today. Total of €30. That includes 2 orange juices, water and coffee, together with the breakfast.
Very good.
Well, it's been a nice walk, but it's been very windy, but it's been really quite warm. And we've had a lovely little brunch there at the Colmena, the Beehive. And it's time to go home now and prepare ourselves for this afternoon's match against Betis. So thanks very much for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.